under the 1993 Religious Freedom Restoration Acts. In September 2008, the three Santo Daime churches filed suit in federal court to gain legal status to import DMT containing ayahuasca tea. The case, Church of the Holy Light of the Queen versus Macasay, presided over by Judge Owen M. Panner, was ruled in favor of the Santo Daime Church. As of March 21st, 2009, a federal judge says members of the church in Ashland can import, distribute, and brew ayahuasca. U.S. District Judge Owen Panner issued a permanent injunction barring the government from prohibiting or penalizing the sacramental use of Daime tea. Panner's orders said activities of the Church of the Holy Light of the Queen are legal and protected under freedom of religion. His order prohibits the federal government from interfering with and prosecuting church members who follow a list of regulations set out in his order. Okay, culture. In South America, there are a number of indigenous traditions and more recent religious movements based on the use of ayahuasca, usually in an animistic context that may be mixed with Christian imagery. There are three main groups using DMT-MAOI-based sacraments in South America. The Amazon Basin's indigenous population. There are many indigenous cultures in South America, mostly in Upper Amazon Basin, whose traditional religious practices include the use of ayahuasca. These are the oldest cultures in the whole of South America that continue to use ayahuasca or analog brews, such as ones made from Jarima in the Pernambuco near Recife, or Iquitos in Peru. Santo Daime, holy give unto me, the Barquinha, little boat, a Socratic religion from Brazil. The former was founded by Raimundo Renu Serra in the early 1930s as an esoteric Christian religion with shamanic tendencies. The Barquinha was derived from this one. The Santo Daime also includes children in their entheogenic rituals. Studies done by the Brazilian government concluded that there were no physical or mental damage caused by this practice, so it is allowed. União de Vegetal, Union of the Plants, or UDV, another Christian ayahuasca religion from Brazil, a single unified organization with a structure resembling Freemasonry. Popular culture. DMT was the subject of a 2010 American documentary titled DMT, The Spiritual Molecule. DMT was one of the psychedelic drugs used in the 2009 French movie titled Enter the Void. Rene Adolphe Swaller de Lebix lived between 1887 until 1961. He was born Adolphe Swaller in Alsace-Lorraine and was a French occultist, student of sacred geometry, and alternative Egyptologist, known for his 12-year study of the art and architecture of the Temple of Luxor in Egypt, in his subsequent book, The Temple in Man. Rene Swaller left home at the age of 18 after having completed an apprenticeship with his father in pharmaceutical chemistry. Moving to Paris from Alsace, A-L-S-A-C-E, to study modern chemistry and physics. He developed an interest in alchemy, reading early alchemical texts he could find, including those by Paracelsus and Raymond Lull. He also developed an interest in painting and became the student of Matisse. He was given the title de Lebix in 1990 by the Lithuanian writer, mystic, and diplomat Oscar Władysław de Lebix Mollusks, and that is Oscar Władysław Vladislas de Lubicz Lubicz, and then Malaz Milosc. He also wrote under the mystical name Aor, A-O-R, signifying light of the higher mind. He became a student of Theosophy and Saint Yves de Alvedres Senarchi, which is Saint Yves, Y, or capital Y, lowercase v-e-s, d Alvedres, Albaydres, and then Synarchy, Synarchy. Okay, Les Villiers. Swaller de Lebux was the founder in 1919 with other members of the Theosophical Society of the esoteric right-wing French group called Affranchis, that published a journal, Affranchi, Hierarchy, Fraternite, Liberté, a monthly journal of art and philosophy, dealing with a spiritual and social renewal within the framework of a mystical political philosophy. Its president was René Bruyères. On 23rd July 1919, the group dissolved and another group was formed in its place, Les Veilleurs, the Vigilants, to which allegedly the young Rudolf Hess belonged, according to the historian Pierre Mariel. Its uniform consisted of a dark shirt, high boots, and riding breeches, akin to the Sturmabotolom. Thus, Villiers delivered its manifesto in December 1919. Its politics conveyed through a series of letters called appeals and signed by its members. The letter signed by Aor was addressed to the Jews, where he advised all Jews to go back home. The first issue of its journal, Beliors, contained an anonymous anti-Semitic article that first appeared in a Masonic journal in 1898. The artist Andre Vandenbroek, in his memoirs and biographies of Swaller de Labeux, described him as anti-Semitic, and Jocelyn Godwin commented Swaller de Labeux was not sufficiently vindictive to persist in the course of action followed by Hess and Hitler, but nor was he sufficiently humane. It would seem to regret his contribution to the currents of the time. Sahalia. During the 1920s, with his wife Isha, Swaller de Labeux established in Switzerland the station Scientifique Sahalia, a research center consisting of laboratories for physics, chemistry, microphotography, and the manufacture of homeopathic tinctures, was set up, along with an astronomical observatory, a machine shop, workshops for woodworking, blacksmithing, printing, weaving, rug making, and glass making, and a theater. While there, Swaller de Labeux brought to a total whole his philosophical vision, and in 1926 published his book, L'Appel de Feu, where his inspiration and higher intelligence is personified as Aor, Hebrew for intellectual light. Sahalia became the location where he began to elaborate his philosophy of the evolution of consciousness. Swaller de Labeux lived in Egypt for 12 years, studying the temples of Thebes in detail. He was the French Egyptologist. He, with the French Egyptologist Alexander Baril, developed the symbolist approach to ancient Egypt. He argued that Egyptian temples were used for mystical initiations, and that their design incorporated symbolism, expressing a brief system that combined religion, philosophy, art, and science. He believed, for instance, that the Egyptians were aware of astronomical concepts